Hey everybody, Khoa here, and here are 10 productivity things that you are doing wrong. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not watching you all the time, that'd be weird. Number 1, thinking that you have to be motivated to do good work. You don't have to be motivated to take action. Often, you might find that just doing the action gets you motivated. Now, motivation is a tricky thing. Now, if you are always waiting on motivation, then you are always at the mercy of motivation and its timeline. Now, when I started my other channel, Very Important Geeks, about mechanical keyboards, I was watching a lot of Think Media's YouTube channel, and their main mantra was just hit record. And that advice gave me the ability to consistently push out one video a week for well over a year. And I promise you, I did not feel like recording every single week. But I took their advice and I just hit the record button, and that simple act of recording and going through the motions of filming eventually put me in the mindset of focusing on the task and not trying to get myself motivated. And I think one of the hang-ups that we usually get into is that we focus so much on trying to get motivated and doing things to be motivated and feeling guilty for not being motivated that it keeps us from doing the work. And if we can focus on the work at hand, then the motivation becomes irrelevant because we're already doing it. Number 2, believing that consistency is better than intensity. A lot of people seem to think that consistency and intensity are like polar opposites and that they're at odds with each other, but that's not true. It just kind of depends on what you're doing. Intensity is great if you're like a power lifter or something like that. You kind of need that intensity. If you're a sprinter, you need that intensity. Marathoners, they need consistency. And yes, doing small bits of work very consistently is a good thing. But so is a period of intensity followed by a period of rest, followed by a period of intensity, followed by a period of rest, kind of over and over again. That is also consistent. It's just a different pattern of consistency. And I think you find out if you extrapolate anything out far enough, it could be consistent. If a meteor strikes the Earth once every 100,000 years, that's consistent over a long time span. But if you're there on the day that a meteor hit the Earth and then it never happens again for the rest of your life, it may seem like just a blip. We are, as humans, irregular creatures. We ebb and we flow. So how can we acknowledge this and identify the opportunities that we have to be consistent in our lives? And when we require that intensity? And the answer will be different for everyone. But overall, both are okay and both are needed. It just depends on how you apply them and what you're doing. Number 3, believing that consistency equals frequency. Now, they can seem interchangeable, but that is the number one way to burn out. And this happens all the time round about January 1st. How many people's New Year resolution is to get in better shape and be a little healthier? And then they join a gym, they hop on that bandwagon, and they are really good for a few weeks or maybe even for a few months, and then it just falls flat. And for most people, it is because it is unsustainable to their actual lifestyle. And I think they're just burning themselves out because they adapted a frequency that was too high to be consistent with the actual lifestyle that they're living. So we have to find a way to be able to embrace the truth of our reality, the schedule of our lives, and find small ways that we can be consistent, build habits, and then over time we can sort of transform our lives around what we want to do instead of trying to fit what we want to do into our lives. For example, if you're a YouTuber like me and one video a week isn't sustainable for you, if it isn't the kind of consistency that you can reliably achieve, try one every 2 weeks or one every 4 weeks. Even that, one every 4 weeks, once a month, is still consistent if you do it long enough. And it's definitely more important to be able to do it for a long time because this is a long game. Productivity is not an overnight sort of thing. Achieving the goals and dreams that you have is not going to be an overnight thing. So you have to find ways to be able to slowly build up as you're going along. Number 4, setting the wrong goals. Now, a lot of people have heard of SMART goals. So that's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. And SMART goals are definitely a great way to start, but I think what's missing with SMART goals is you should find something that motivates you and gives you momentum now rather than something way farther out into the future. For example, as a SMART goal, I could say I want to have 1 million YouTube channel subscribers in 10 years. That's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. But 10 years is a long way away. How does that SMART goal specifically help me to do something today or tomorrow? What does it lead me to do next? I think a better goal would be, I will upload a video to YouTube every week. Again, that's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, and it tells me exactly what I need to do next. Number 5, believing that productivity simply means just doing more. And to a certain extent, yes, that may be true, but it is important that we are choosing not only more things, but more of the right things that help contribute to the version of ourselves that we want to be in the future. It's more meaningful things. Now, I think a simple exercise you can do is to go ahead and take a look at your calendar. And if you're not using a calendar, then you probably should. So start there. And then do a simple audit of all the tasks and events and things that you are doing throughout the week. And take a look at them and count or label whichever ones that you have that are contributing to the version of yourself that you want to be. Things that are just kind of maybe, and then things that are detracting or don't help you be the person or achieve the goals that you want to in the future. Now, take those 2 or 3 buckets of things and compare them to each other. And if the things that you're doing to help you be a better person outweigh the amount of things that actively detract from it or don't contribute, then you're in a good spot. Now, it is unreasonable to assume that it's going to be 100 and 0% because we are human. It is okay to do things that you simply just enjoy. Life happens. Sometimes you just do things that you need to do, like pay taxes, go to the bank, things like that. You're not going to get rid of that from your routine. Be realistic, and as long as the majority of the things that are on your calendar are actively contributing to being a better person and helping you achieve your goals, then you're in a good spot. If not, see what changes that you can make there. Number 6, and this may be a hot take, believing that you can self-care your way to success. I know, but look, believe me, the worst thing that you can do is burn yourself out, and we all love to treat ourselves a little bit. But be honest with yourself. Are you taking a bubble bath right now because you really deserve it? You really worked that hard this week? Or are you taking one just because the bathroom is just right over there? I can see the bathtub, like it's just calling out to me. It says, Dylan, my name's not Dylan, this bath bomb has tea tree oil. And I'm not saying self-care is bad at all. We all need that sort of stuff. It's just, we should take a better look at stepping back sometimes and seeing if the proportion of self-care is truly matching the amount of work that we're putting in. Just be a little honest. Now, I've tried to do a YouTube channel 3 times now, and the result each time was equal to the amount of work that I put in it. The first one was a personal channel. I threw up a couple of videos that not really related to anything, not going in any specific directions. Did that for a month or 2, didn't get any traction, so I kind of quit on that. Then with Very Important Geeks, I decided to in earnest try it, realizing that there are truths to the algorithm in YouTube, realizing that people will not subscribe to a channel that only has like 2 or 3 random videos. You kind of have to have a point of view on things. Generally, people subscribe to channels that have many videos because then there's this sort of implicit promise that there is more content coming in the future. If you only have 1 or 2 videos on your channel, it's not realistic to expect anyone to subscribe. You haven't proven that you're gonna have any longevity. So I did that. I put up over 100 videos probably at this point for Very Important Geeks, and it's been very slow but pretty consistent growth. I've reached the goals. My first goal was to get 100 subscribers in the year. I ended up getting a little over 1,000, which is great, but that work had to come first. And now I'm doing it all again and starting completely over. Well, not starting over, just adding to the chaos that is both Very Important Geeks and now this channel, because apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. Number 7, believing that everything has to be perfect for you to start. I am still waiting for that perfect day when I can wake up feeling super refreshed, have a lot of time to go out in the morning, work out, take a walk, have a cup of coffee, have breakfast in silence and peace, come in to my perfectly huge office, all of my gear is already set up and ready to go, my script is pristine, I film it without any issues at all, I sit down, edit it, everything flows perfectly, all of my B-roll is filmed, and then I hit upload and I can continue on with the rest of my day and do whatever I want. I'm still waiting for that day. It hasn't happened, not once. In reality, I wake up too late, grab a quick cup of coffee, hop in, turn on all of these things, turn on this receiver, that camera, that monitor, this light. Nobody tells you that when you're starting a YouTube video and you get all this gear and you have like 13 different on buttons to push. It's But then I film it, I look at my script, it's like 4 lines, it's more of an outline, and I can't wing a 30-minute video on just like 4 bullet points. I'm not that good. So then I have to take a step back, script it out a little more, come back a couple of hours later, try and film again, realize, oh shit, half of my video doesn't have audio because And then I sit to edit it and I realize my white balance is way off because I didn't color correct it because I shifted to a different angle. The lighting is different. I'm missing whole bits of information. I forgot some B-roll. I have to just make do with what I have. And I think, oh my God, I don't have time to refilm any of this. You know what? Voiceover. It's like a easy cheat code. Just throw up some B-roll and do a voiceover. And that's it. That is real nearly every time I shoot. I've been doing this for a year. I do it pretty consistently. My setup, I think, is pretty good. I have a process, but it never goes perfectly. And if I let that stop me, I would not have any videos out today. Which leads me to number 8. Perfect is the enemy of done. Like, sure, nothing can be perfect when you start. What about when it ends? Can you come up with the perfect product? Can the video just be pristine, flawless? Maybe, but I have yet to reach that. And I think if I had stopped myself every time the video didn't go the way that I wanted to go, if I missed a shot, if the angle wasn't wrong, if the color wasn't quite right, if the audio wasn't perfectly good, if I didn't have the script the way that I wanted it, if I let any of that stop me from uploading that, I also would not have any videos today. None of my videos are perfect. They're not the ones that I had in my head, but they were pretty good. They were 97% of the way there. And if I quibbled and waited and sort of turned my wheels trying to get the other 3%, it really is diminishing returns. Like, how much better is that video if I was able to do that really cool edit that I needed? How much better would my video have been had I added in this one extra shot of B-roll that I missed? And I think if you can get to a place where you are pumping out 14, 15 videos that are 97% of what you wanted versus waiting 8 months for 100% video, definitely in the beginning stages of something like YouTube, you're going for quantity over the quality. Now, don't get me wrong, the quality should still be good, but it doesn't have to be 100% perfect good. And I think that applies to other things besides YouTube videos. If you're doing a project, if you are a designer, there is a point at which you put in 150% more effort for like a 1% return, that doesn't work in your favor. It's a very important lesson to learn when good enough is good enough. Number 9, believing that you don't have enough time. And I think we say that plenty of times. Everybody says, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, and that is a belief. I don't believe that is necessarily true. I think we will always have time for what we make time for. Whatever is a priority for us, we will find the time, and that has always been true, at least in my life. For example, I'm a full-time product designer, I am a father, I am a husband, I do theater, and I film these YouTube videos. So at my busiest, my daily schedule looks something like this. Monday through Friday, I get up around 6 or 6:30, get my daughter ready for school, drop her off at 7:15, come home, make breakfast, have coffee. 8 o'clock, I am into work, and it's a full day of meetings. I get off around 4 or so, and then I have between 4 and 5 to drive to the theater and grab breakfast along the way. It was usually McDonald's or some sort of fast food that I would just chow down on like the car ride over. Then I get to rehearse until 10:30, get home at 11, go to sleep. Maybe I usually need some wind down time, so probably between 11 and 12, or more realistically, I'm on TikTok or something until like 2 in the morning, which I shouldn't be, but that's beside the point. And that is my day Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, I'd get up a little later, like maybe 8 or 9, get up, get dressed, get some coffee, get some breakfast, be in the theater by 10, so end rehearsal by 4, and then I get home and film YouTube videos and have dinner late into the evening. And then on Sunday, I wake up a little bit later, maybe 9, 10, and I finish editing them probably into the late afternoon, maybe evening, depending on the complexity of the video. And then finally, I have a couple of hours to myself, and that's the week. When I didn't have shows. When I did have shows, I would have shows on Saturday evening and Sunday in the afternoon, so then I would have to edit or film and edit in Sunday and then upload to be ready for Monday. So at best, I got maybe a couple of hours in the week to myself on a Sunday evening. Now, admittedly, that's crazy and not sustainable, but I was able to do it for an entire year because I made those things priorities. I said, these are things that I just simply have to do, that I'm passionate about, that I didn't want to give up, so I made time for it. And then finally, number 10, probably the most important out of all of these, I think, is don't let people convince you that what you're doing is wrong. Yes, the self-help gurus, productivity experts, and even me, don't let us tell you that what you're doing is wrong if it works for you. If you are happy, healthy, and doing a cadence that is sustainable for both you and the people that you care about, carry on. I never want to be the type of person that tells other people what to do. I've been a non-commissioned officer in the Army. I've done it plenty. I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to share what I've experienced, what's worked for me, what's not worked for me, and let other people do with it as they choose. And we're in it together. And I also want to see us succeed together. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed those 10 tips. I hope you found something in there that was insightful, helpful for you. So please leave a like for the algorithm, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And don't forget, I'm me, you're you, and that's quite all right.